Catherine? Catherine? Hi. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, I'm going to make you the host right now.
Okay, sounds good. And Laura,
Yeah.
just a reminder to call on people whenever you want me to unmute them. It just helps me stay organized since there's so many people.
Hmm.
Hi, Teresa.
And just work if you guys are getting organized and doing other business.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you to speak during open floor, which is
Okay.
probably going to be in like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Just because I think there's those rules against speaking during the meeting for
Okay.
people running for office.
Well, I will just, I guess, tune in at 7:30 and then just wait to get a high sign from you.
That sounds great. You look really nice.
Oh, well, thank you.
Way
It's
better
been a
than
long day.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you look great. Well, you know, we got this became campaign central. So, but we're transitioning now back to the headquarters with appropriate social distancing and so forth. But
Right.
it's a slow process. So,
Of course.
but anyway, thank you so much. And I'll just mute, but I'll be on standby for whenever you need me. And I'll tune in
Yeah.
at 7:30.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura. Bye-bye.
Catherine, that was probably the best joke you've ever made.
Thanks. And for welcome to anyone joining us. We have it so that people can't just turn on their microphones or cameras just for safety purposes. So if you'd like to speak, there should be an option to, is it raise your hand, Laura? Is that the option?
It's under, looks like mine's under participants. So just press raise hand. Oops, now I can lower my hand.
Thanks. And then I'll also be manning the chat.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna eat my dinner real quick.
Okay.
Enjoy watching me eat this.
I almost forgot to share my PowerPoint. The most important thing. Okay. Oh, no.
Hey, Rebecca.
Okay. Okay, does everything look okay, Laura?
Oh, everything looks great.
Great.
I cannot thank you enough for doing that.
Happy to.
Do I look like a loser with this writing boot behind me?
No, very official.
Hey, Catherine.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm
I
doing
thought that was
great.
you.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh no, Laura, I don't know what's happening, but people keep being able to unmute themselves.
Oh, sorry. I'll unmute myself.
No, it's not a problem. It's just our settings are supposed to be set where people can't unmute themselves.
Well, I was going to mute myself once the meeting started, but since it's before 7:30, I was just wanted to say, hey.
Oh yeah, stay and chat with us. How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. I'm going good. So I just wanted to pop in and say hey and, just see what was going on. I'm glad that I see Miss Tomlinson is here. I wanted to find out some more about her. So I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Catherine, since you're the host, you're going to have to change the settings.
I've changed it and it keeps going back to the way it originally was.
Oh, wonderful. So glad. So glad.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I don't know. We'll see. I apologize ahead of time for anyone if anyone Zoom bombs us. Hopefully they won't.
I wonder how I just copied and pasted our other one, so I don't know what the settings are, why it's doing that.
I think it's something happening with Zoom. So I unclicked one of the settings again, so we'll see.
What time are we?
We are 4 minutes till.
Sorry. Hey, y'all, we'll be starting soon, like 3 minutes. Any of y'all that are running for office, we ask that you only speak during open floor. There's rules against campaigning during GPNA meetings. So once we have open floor, which should be in like 20, 30 minutes. So if you want to just like mute yourself and chill out on that. And when during open floor, I'll announce you. All right, y'all. Well, I guess we should wait another minute because 3 people just joined. Catherine, will you mute Fred? Sorry, Fred, no offense. And Brian and Sam.
I mean, I think everyone's muted unless they're like on a phone or they don't have, like none of those people have microphones beside their names.
Okay.
So I think they don't have their audio hooked up. For some reason, it is not allowing people to unmute themselves, but it is allowing them to unmute their video. And I'm not sure why that setting is happening. So my apologies, everyone.
We're having Zoom issues. There's Simo.
Sorry, so many people are being added at once that it's hard to stop the videos because it keeps changing.
Well, it's okay. All right, y'all, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and kick this telecom off. Welcome to our May teleconference for the GPNA. I wanted to thank you all for taking the time to come join us. You know, it's getting late and the weather's incredible, so we really appreciate it. I just want to go ahead. Oh, and let me just repeat what I said earlier. If anyone is running for office, we ask that you speak only during open floor, which is at the very end of the meeting. Oh yes, Mitza, sorry, I just saw your message. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll give you a chance. Can I just put you at the end? I'm sure that's okay. And if I don't remember, just shoot us a message on the chat. Okay, awesome. So let's get started. Obviously, I want to move the approval of the minutes to next month. Hopefully, we can have some kind of in-person meeting next month. I'm toying around with some ideas of doing like a socially distanced meeting outside, just because I want to. We need to do some voting. Maybe like in the zoo parking lot. I don't know. I'm playing with some ideas. So if you have any grand ideas, let me know. And is Carla or Leslie on the call at all? Or are Carla or Leslie? Nope. I asked both of them to join us, but I guess they were too occupied. Item 1, public safety. Is Chris Newman on the call? Chris? If not, I'll speak on his behalf. There was, last week, APD went through the park about 1:30 in the morning and asked 3 men and 1 woman to leave. This was initiated because there was an accumulation of their stuff in several areas of the park. In particular, below the fountain, 1 man had a large pile of his belongings that spilled over onto a picnic table. Elsewhere, brewing at the Beacon has an initial application, but they're not presenting this month. But again, because we can't vote right now. But hopefully next month we'll have that sorted out, or we'll hear from them. Is Audra on the call? Can you unmute Audra so she can talk about bylaws, Catherine?
I'm here.
Hey,
I'm sorry, what did you want me to?
do you want to go ahead and talk about how we're going to have our first bylaws committee meeting?
Oh, thank you. There's the screen. Okay, I'm there. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm responsible for putting together a bylaws committee and would like some volunteers to let me know if you'd be interested in joining. We're going to have our first meeting May 27th at 6:30 p.m. via Zoom. And as soon as I have my committee together, we will get that invite out. The purpose is to go through the bylaws and make sure that they're updated and that everyone is a participant that wants to be in updating the bylaws. Anything you want to add, Laura?
Nope, really excited about this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate all your hard work. Item 3, homes and history. Simo? Do you want to unmute Simo? Catherine?
Hello.
Yeah, you're there.
Hey. Hi, everybody. Paul Simo with Homes and History. Because there's no word from the Atlanta Urban Design Commission on when they will kind of reconvene, unless something was said since about noon today. I have not checked. But as the last I knew, AUDC, who, as any of you who may be going through building permits would know, we do need the Atlanta Urban Design Commission to be able to convene under law so that building permits, which are substantial for design changes, anything kind of above general maintenance, does have to be reviewed. You have to have designs turned in, and the Atlanta Urban Design Commission look at that. Staff is doing some staff reviews if they can handle it, but major design things, building permits, we've got people who are waiting to get new houses built on lots, and they were all put on hold since March 13th. So that is, unless maybe Rick knows anything, but that's the last I've got. Keep tuning in to the Atlanta Planning website. they're keeping everyone pretty much on on notice, and hopefully the AUDC will be able to meet or take on cases in June, which would start the 2nd and 4th weeks in June. We'll announce something at GPNA and blast it out to everyone as soon as we know that AUDC is meeting. Any other questions on Atlanta Urban Design Commission? I don't see anything coming across. We do have 2 historic districts, a local district and a national district. Just be cognizant that your home probably is a contributing part of that. And that's what keeps our property values high and all of the beauty and the environment in Grant Park. Our committee does meet via Zoom on the 4th Monday of each month, and that'll be this upcoming Monday. We always post a link Saturday, Sunday, over the weekend for that meeting. So just tune into our website, and you can get that link if you want to join. Right now, we have nobody who's lined up, as far as I know, for this Monday. No new applicants. Lots of people calling, kicking tires, talking to us, but they're not in a stage where they're getting ready to go under a design review. That brings me to the last thing, is the preservation tip of the month. I hear, again, this is the time of year, every year I say it, hear a lot of pressure washers and power washers firing up, and people are blowing those things at your house. Please, garden hose pressure only. You can get a pretty good stream of water out of a garden hose that can knock pollen off and hornets nests or whatever, but our houses cannot. The age of the wood and the fragility of sometimes some of our materials, you just can't be blowing a power washer at your house. And I know it's a real quick and easy thing to do to get pollen off. Keep the power washers for decks or patios, concrete walls, things like that. Any of our historic materials, please, consider yourself, in a Steinway, and you wouldn't throw a power washer at a Steinway piano. So every one of our historic homes is part of that nature. And garden hose pressure only. If you have to, you can use a soft bristle, push broom and reach up high, or one of those car wash brooms. But that's the best way to clean your house and all the pollen off. That said, do get the pollen off, because pollen that's left on for a season or even a whole year can then begin to attract more dust and dirt that can accumulate and instigate rot in your materials. So just play it safe right in between, and be good to your houses. Thanks, everybody. And weather's beautiful, so go on, get out there and clean your house.
There was a question about how to join the bylaws committee. Audra's email, her GPNA email is vicepresident@gpna.org. And all of our contact information is available on our website. And next we have Velocity, and that's Mel and Andrew. Catherine.
Hey, thank you. This is Andrew. I'll share before I jump into this. My wife and I actually grew up in Grant Park, and we still go to church in Grant Park, and have a deep, deep love for this neighborhood. So it's an honor and a privilege to be speaking with you all. I am now the Velocity Director working for the Grady Health Foundation. This is a fundraising bike ride that specifically raises money for Grady Hospital. As some of you may know, over a third of all of our patients are uninsured, and we have over $300 million every year in uncompensated care that we have to cover. So this ride is an opportunity to raise awareness for the hospital and to fundraise for the hospital as well. I'll keep this very brief, but try to provide a little bit more information about what we're doing. So the ride started in 2018. We offer between 5 miles up to 100-mile options for participants. They sign up to ride, they raise money. It is a fun ride, hang out and have a big party and celebration. It is not a race. It's not a competitive event. The first year we had over 900 riders. Last year we had over 1,300 riders. And both years we were able to start on the 50-yard line of Mercedes-Benz Stadium and then have our big post-event celebration afterwards outside in the tailgate area. Our third annual ride would have been on May 2nd, but obviously because of COVID-19, we've had to postpone, and we've landed on November 7th, putting us in the fall between the NFL and MLS schedules being so unpredictable right now. We weren't able to secure any dates at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We started looking around, and Grant Park seemed like an obvious choice to me. And we're really excited and hopeful to be able to move forward with planning an event on November 7th, fingers crossed, there in Grant Park. We have partnered with a company called Medalist Sports, who Mel works with. They're out of Peachtree City, actually, but they're a national company. They are responsible for putting on the largest pro cycling races in the US, as well as some of the biggest nonprofit fundraisers around the country, just like Velocity. They're incredibly talented, professional, experienced people, and we're really, really lucky to have them as a partner. So they're helping us in planning, and especially now as we think about social distancing, how we put on an event safely and what that would look like. So we're really, really lucky to have them as a partner. We've also had the opportunity to speak with David Hicks and Russell Baggett with the Grant Park Criterium, and we've learned a lot about what they've done in the past, over 10 years, I think, that they've been putting on cycling events right there in Grant Park. We've learned a lot from them already about how those events work, about the concerns that they've had to address here in the community, and how we can kind of learn from what they've already gathered and try and replicate an event that looks very close and similar to what they do. In fact, we would like to use a lot of their same footprint there on Park Avenue between Sydney and Bern. As I said, usually after the ride, we have a big post-event celebration. There's an expo, a festival, food and drinking and music. We have made the decision that we don't feel like that would be possible this year. So we will not have the post-ride celebration. So really what we're looking at is in the morning, having folks come out. They get started, as I said, they ride between 5 and 100 miles on a fully supported course that's outside of the Grant Park neighborhood. And then throughout the day, they're returning and finishing. We'll have probably some hydration and some restrooms and some basic things for them there at the finish line, but the actual build would be pretty minimal. We are considering partnering with Zoo Atlanta to try and replace some of that experience. We'd love to be able to support them. As I'm sure we all know, they've lost a lot of revenue because of COVID-19. So if we can pay for all of our participants to go hang out at the zoo and get food and drinks while they're down there, it's a way to provide that experience to our participants and perhaps give back to the community in a great way as well. At the end of the day, just a reminder, so this is a fundraising event. We're looking to raise money for Grady Hospital. That is why the event exists. We have been, and the folks we've talked to already, we've been made aware that probably the 3 biggest items we need to watch out for is what is our parking plan, what is our trash cleanup, and what does our noise look like. And we're working, it's a little early to say this is our fully fleshed out plans, but we will have really good plans to make sure the parking's not impacted. We have a sponsor that provides all the trash cleanup services for SunTrust Park, our Truist Park now, and they'll be coming out and cleaning up all the trash, so we'll be cleaner than when we came in there. And then we'll be working with our partners to make sure that the noise impact is minimal to negligible. But again, we're really, really excited to be here. I hope that we can be here longer than just this 1 year and start to really build a partnership with the community, and look forward to any feedback and questions that the group has. Mel, I went really fast, so I may have skipped some stuff. Is there any, and I don't want to take up too much time, Laura, but is there anything I missed that we need to add?
Hi, Andrew. I thought you covered it really well. Just to reiterate, we are working with the Mayor's Office of Special Events and working closely with them on guidelines and guidance in a post-COVID event.
Uh-oh. Looks like you got muted, Mel.
Oh, I'm back. Yes, just to support Andrew and the Velocity event and the Grady Health Foundation, the medalist team is available for feedback. And if that could come directly to me, I can then filter that through and address it, and then also share that with Andrew as well. Thanks everybody for your time.
Thank you guys so much. Do you want to post your contact information on the chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be great. All right. Norma, do you want to speak about Nicholas House? Will you unmute Norma, Catherine, please?
Oh, hi y'all, how are you doing? For those who don't already know me, my name is Norma Nyhoff and I work for Nicholas House. We are a shelter based in Grant Park with the mission of helping homeless families achieve self-sufficiency. In response to COVID, with the support of the Stadium Neighborhoods Community Trust Fund, the United Way of Greater Atlanta, and Fulton County, among other supporters. Right now, we do have an emergency COVID-19 response for families who've been economically impacted by COVID. So if you know of any neighborhoods in Grant Park or in the Stadium neighborhoods, or indeed throughout Metro Atlanta, that are at risk of being evicted due to needing to pay rent and being unable to do so, at risk of having their utilities shut off and needing assistance there, or needing assistance with meals, please reach out to us. We are spending about $20,000 every week on direct COVID response for affected families. And the best way to contact us for help is to email prevention@nicholashouse.org. If you or anyone you know has a need, and I will share that information in the chat. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful neighborhood and for uplifting not only the families in our shelter, but so many families who've been impacted.
Thank you very, very much for everything you do. We really appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
All right, next, Mitza Henry. Catherine, if you can unmute her, please. There you are.
Yes, good evening. Am I supposed to start my video or no?
Yeah, if you want to start a video, that's fine.
Okay. Let me pull up the information. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mitza Henry. I represent Commissioner Arrington, District 5, Fulton County. Wanted to leave you with some information that we have here. And it's good to see Nicholas House on the line because they were one of our participants, awardees for nonprofits for COVID-19 funds. So I'm glad to see them doing the work, and we'll be sure to share the information as well with our district. There is a Board of Commissioners meeting being held tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. They're meeting online, so you can go to Fulton County's website, Fulton County GA.gov, and log into the meeting. The agenda is there as well. And if you have public comments, you can submit your public comments on the link that's provided. The information is also on the Facebook page for Fulton County government. So you can find that information there. I'll be sure to also link it in the chat. There were extended hours for early voting. So I believe they're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. now, and the locations are located on the website and social media as well. And I'll be sure to post that in the chat as well. Let's see, what else do we have? Information on COVID-19 relief funds. resources and information updates can be found on Fulton County's website as well. We do post pretty often on social media. So again, if you link to Fulton County's Facebook page, Twitter, and I believe Instagram, they should have the information there as well. We post pretty often on there. And Commissioner's website is fultoncommission5.com. That's all that I have for now. There are some, someone's asking some questions. Are they going to open back the tag office? I'm not sure. There's no specific date. There are locations where you can go apply for tags or renew tags, and I'll be sure to post that information there. A lot of us, most of the offices are working remotely right now, and our lines are open, but we're not sure when we're going to open up the tag offices or a lot of the offices for that matter. Trying to read another comment. Can we be certain that our votes will be counted if we mail them in? They're saying yes. I'm hoping so too, because I'm doing absentee as well. But you know, if you're, I know these are crazy times, but if you're not comfortable with mailing in your ballots, then you can go to the polls. I know a lot of people are not comfortable with that either, so we're kind of like stuck in a tough place. Let me see, any other questions? Can we still use tag machines that prints plates, stickers at Kroger? Yes, those machines are available. Okay. I'll let you know where the tag offices are that are open. As far as the remote locations, that where you can, you know, submit for your tags and all. So, and there's also a customer service number, and I'll make sure I post that as well. My direct line number, if you all want to text me anytime, again, I'm working remotely, is 678-427-5142. You can call me or text me anytime. My phone is dead right now, but but I will charge it, and but I'll get back to you as soon as possible if you have any other questions or comments for me. Thank you. Hi, Michelle. Oh, Michelle said she recently did hers at Glenwood. Yeah, okay, cool. Have a good night, everyone.
Hi guys, sorry. I muted myself because my dog was snoring really loud, but she went into the other room. All right. Do we have anybody else that would like to make an announcement before we do open floor? Anyone? All right, I'm going to turn it over to open floor. Let's start out with Catherine, will you unmute Teresa, please? Hi.
Hello. Well, thank you so much, Laura, for having me. My name is Teresa Tomlinson. First, let me tell you how great it is to be with the great Grant Park Neighborhood Association. I witnessed firsthand the evolution of Grant Park, the great remaking of that neighborhood. I grew up in Atlanta, lived there my first 28 years, and so thank you for your stewardship. I also was leading an effort here in Columbus, very much like what you all have done, and called Midtown Inc. So it's just wonderful to see these great in-town communities preserved. My name is Teresa Tomlinson. I'm running for United States Senate to replace David Perdue. We have a competitive primary on June 9th, as you may well know. I know you have so many active voters, so let me tell you very quickly that David Perdue is vulnerable. He can be beat. but it matters who we nominate on June 9th. We have an incredible legacy we have inherited. We are a 2-point state, so this is doable. But in order to beat an incumbent in a politically transitioning state, we must field a candidate who has actually won elections and who has governed and governed well. I am the only candidate in the field that meets that bill. Specifically, I started out as an attorney working in the federal court system, working with the United States Senate and multiple agencies to fight predatory lenders, chemical companies, drug companies, and the like. Big Goliath, and I made them work for justice, made federal law bend towards justice, and worked for the people I served. I took that ethic into being the first woman elected mayor of Columbus, Georgia, a city of 200,000 people, highly diverse African-American majority community. I became the first mayor re-elected since 1971 in a contested race because Columbus loves to throw their mayors out, and I had the honor to serve another term. In those 8 years, I was the chief elected officer, the public safety director over the fire, police, and prison, as well as Homeland Security Director for Columbus and 16 counties in Southwest Georgia. And I hold a national security secret clearance with the Department of Defense because I was the chief liaison with Fort Benning, which is the 5th largest military training base in the world. So when you hear candidates talk about the kind of democratic principles they want to implement, know that I've done them already. Yes, we've implemented broad environmental reforms in Columbus, removing an underground tank farm, implemented broad healthcare reform in Columbus to our public plan, saved a pension, reformed the economy and the depth of the recession to become one of the 25 best run cities in the United States of America, and instituted broad scale criminal justice reform, and at the same time reduced crime by 42%. So I walk the walk. I not just talk the talk. When Francis Johnson, the former president of the NAACP, introduced me a couple of days ago, he said, "Teresa's not new to this, she's true to this." And I think that's a very fair statement. So just want to say that if you want to learn more about my candidacy, you can go to teresatomlinson.com. And also, I have 16 policy papers. So if you want to see my position on LGBTQ issues, I've been working on those issues since 1984. Women's reproductive health, I've been in that field for the past 30 years. Everything from foreign policy, education, anti-gun violence, you name it, it's there. Please check it out. This is important. The United States Senate is the world's most deliberative legislative body. It's not a starter job. Let's field a candidate who can stand on the stage with David Perdue and say, "I know what good government looks like because I've provided it to the people I have served, and you, sir, have failed us." Thank you so very much. I'd be honored to have your vote. Get out and vote before June 9th.
Thank you. We really
Thank you
appreciate
so much.
And
And we have a meet and greet. I just put it into the chat comments. You can come on Thursday and hear more.
Oh, perfect. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody else who, does anybody want to ask Teresa a question? Raise your hand. Oh. Steve Carr, can you hear me?
I can.
Go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you. My question is, where is your meet and greet?
Yes, the meet and greet is virtual. It's Facebook Live, and I've provided there. It's at 5:30 on Thursday. So we are slowly transitioning, like you are, to our in-person events again. We do have a headquarters in Candler Park area in Atlanta on DeKalb Avenue, and we have a headquarters in Columbus, Georgia. We're getting back to those being open every day, but for right now, we're going to continue on with live meet and greets, Facebook live stream. You can, and that's it. Our Facebook page is Teresa Tomlinson.
Where's your office on DeKalb Ave?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the street number escapes me right now, but I tell you what, I'm going to look it up on my phone. I'll put it in the chat. We've got yard signs and of course window decals and T-shirts and all sorts of good things. So please stop by. We'd love to see you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, Gail, we just saw your message. Oh, wait, hold on. First of all, Teresa, before you go,
Sure.
Paul has a question. Where do you see the future of high-speed rail or alternative transportation for our state?
Yeah, thank you, Paul. I'm not sure if you know that we actually worked on that in Columbus. We had completed the feasibility study with Anthony Fox of the U.S. Department of Transportation, Secretary of Transportation under Barack Obama, for a high-speed passenger rail running up 185 and I-85 all the way from Columbus Airport to the Atlanta Airport, which was very exciting. So I do see a future, and we had collapsed the environmental protection with the Environmental Protection Agency to expedite that review as well. It was really exciting, but there is, I think, an opportunity to connect well-selected cities in order to connect hub cities, population centers. I think that would revive Georgia amazingly. We have a lot of resource beyond the Metro Atlanta area and could spread the population center in a way that I think would make for more balanced plan and planned living and smart growth if we had high-speed passenger rail. So I'm a big supporter. You can Google high-speed passenger rail Columbus, Georgia, see our awesome plan and how far we got. Hopefully there'll be a new administration in soon and those types of feasible plans that would be profitable in the first year of operation will be able to get back on track, pun intended.
Gail Quick had a question for Meetza Henry. She asked if there were any drop boxes for Fulton County. Can you unmute Meetza?
Yes, I'm about to post that information now. There are about 20 different ballot boxes that are being placed around town. So I believe 15 right now are fully installed. I'm reading it now. So let me post the link and then you can find the one closest to you.
Right. Does anybody have another question for Teresa? Anyone want to say anything during open floor? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, will you, oh, yes, Steve Carr. Steve.
Laura, did you refer to Steve Carr?
Yeah, I did.
Good. I have a question and a follow-up comment. My question is, I have heard that there were about 130 trees cut down in the park to provide for the zoo's parking deck. And I want to know if that's an accurate figure or if there's a figure that's more accurate than that. So if somebody could either call me or let Laura know, and she can get in touch with me. I'm not online yet, although that day is coming. I can be reached at 678-886-8666. And to slide over to my comment, I wanted to follow up with what Paul was saying for his tip of the month, and my tip of the month happens to be badminton rackets. That's a great solution for carpenter bees, and you can let out a lot of extra aggression and hostilities. And the other thing is about squirrels. If they're gnawing at your soffits or woodwork, I've also heard, and I haven't done it myself, that getting hot sauce from McDonald's or Taco Bell, mixing it with a little bit of water and putting it into a hand sprayer, spray the affected places and they won't come back to that specific place.
Thanks.
That's it for my tip of the month. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Steve. And, oh, Beth Baskin.
Yes.
Catherine, can you unmute Beth? Oh, wait, you are unmuted. Hi, welcome.
Hey there. Can we start the video, Laura?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Let us do that, Catherine.
Here we go. There we are. Am I roughly? screen. Can we see me and hear me?
I can see you.
Can the others hear me, see me? Okay. I'm Beth Beskin. Thank you all for letting me speak to your group. I'm running for the Supreme Court of Georgia. And you may have heard about me in the news because I was one of the two who filed a lawsuit against the Secretary of State for the cancellation of a different Supreme Court seat. That was for Justice Blackwell's seat, where he announced in March that he's going to resign in November. And the governor announced he was going to appoint his successor. That election was on the calendar, or today should have been election day, and it should have been on June 9th. And I thought that that was an improper cancellation of that election. Last Thursday, the Supreme Court ruled against us. I was one of the plaintiffs, the other was John Barrow, and held that essentially a justice can give notice they're going to retire 8 months in the future, and the governor can cancel the election for his successor. At the same time as I filed that lawsuit, 2 days later, I filed to challenge an incumbent, and I am on the ballot June 9th, running for Supreme Court, challenging an incumbent, and I would love to get your votes and your support. I served in the Georgia General Assembly for 4 years, from 2015 to 19. I represented House District 54 in Atlanta. And during the, one of the most important bills I passed was the City of Atlanta 2.6% tax cap bill. And this greatly benefited many of you there in the Grant Park area. It had nothing to do with school taxes. It just keeps your City of Atlanta portion of your assessment from going up more than 2.6% per year. I'm running against an incumbent, and I think that I am the far better qualified candidate in this race. I practiced law for 30 years. Check out my website, bethbeskin.com. I'd like to say my opponent and I served for 2 years at the same time in the General Assembly, and there were votes on 4 bills that clearly show our differences as people and as lawyers. One of those, although I am a sincerely religious person, I voted against the Religious Freedom Restoration Act in 2016. My opponent was one of the sponsors of it and voted for it. Governor Deal vetoed that legislation, and his veto was very eloquent and in line with the reasons I voted against that bill. Campus carry, although I'm an ardent supporter of the Second Amendment, I voted against campus carry. My opponent voted for it. The governor vetoed it. You could look at those votes and say, well, Beth was representing her in-town metro Atlanta district and Charlie was representing his rural district, but 2 bills show just the different legal skills we bring to the table. There were 2 technical bills, one about the judicial retirement plan, another about workers' compensation system. Bills that my opponent voted for, I voted against because they were not legally defensible, and the governor vetoed them. So I do think that I'm the best qualified candidate in my race. I'm on the ballot June 9th. I would greatly appreciate your votes. Incidentally, no one has ever defeated an incumbent Supreme Court justice, but the last week's Supreme Court decision tells us that although our Constitution says we elect our judges and justices, almost everyone initially gets the job by appointment. So the only elections we're going to have are when people challenging incumbents, and that is what I'm doing. There have only ever been 5 women on the Georgia Supreme Court, and one of those 5 has only been there for a month and 10 days. So again, Beth Beskin, check out my website. I'd love to speak with anybody, 404-824-4344, and thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Can you post everything on the chat so we can follow up?
I'll do a comment. Thank you all. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Anyone else? Meetha, thank you so much for all your comments. We really appreciate this. Oh, Robert wants us to, or wanted me to remind everybody to send your stuff to the Porch Press. Any kind of awesome story that you've been coming up with while you've been sitting at home, send it to him. Robert, wait, post your email, Robert, or is it GP editor at Porch Press or something? He'll post it. All right. Anything else, y'all? Okay. All right, well, I'm going to adjourn. Thank you so much for joining us today or tonight. I really appreciate your time. And always, you can all of our contact information is on the website.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
Yeah, let us know if you have any questions. president@gpna.org. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's end this.